our brain function, or our ability to react to stress or different situations? There's a lot of things that's happening within ourselves before an impulsive reaction happens. How should people try and build this? I would say, I don't know if there's an achievement of nirvana there, but at least some bit of, better managing and bringing a little bit more harmony here. How should we develop that? Because I know it can be consciously developed.
Absolutely, and I'd like to kind of cite the cognitive behavioral therapy approach in this. I think I've found, working in this space with my clients has been the most helpful for them. And in cognitive behavioral therapy, we talk about the kind of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions as like a pyramid, or three sides of a triangle, and they all influence each other. And the unfortunate thing is that so many of us live applying really only one or two of them and not really applying all three simultaneously. So for example, there's a large population of people out there who just think and act, and who don't really take into consideration what they're feeling. And so their decisions tend to be very, what they then like to call strategic. It's just business is a great, comment that you hear from people who like to live in that think and act space. On the other hand, there's also a large group of people who feel and act. And those are the people who are kind of, reactive, as you just mentioned. Those are the people who, have an emotional impulse and just react right away, and sometimes in a little bit hyper reactive way, that can create all types of consequences. And I'm sure we're all, very familiar, and probably we've all experienced that in ourselves as well, right? And then there are also people who just think and feel. And so they basically don't do anything. They just, think and feel, and that wheel is just spinning around all day long about how they're thinking and feeling, and lots of different thoughts and stories and all of that kind of stuff. And generally speaking, the way that we kind of create that most holistic piece is our ability to do all three at the same time, right? Is to be able to think, to be able to understand our feelings and the actions, and to really be able to create a dialogue around those three simultaneously. So I might be thinking something and then thinking about an action, but then my ability to take a step back from that and then to say, but what feelings are involved here? What are my emotions that are really driving me that are influencing my thought process here? What's going on, rather than me just think, oh, I'm making a really good decision. The same happens with my emotions. If I'm an emotional person and I have a tendency to react, is that ability to go, hey, wait, let's think about this for a minute. What's actually really happening? And then the final one, of course, is with the thinking and feeling space is kind of say, hey, what kind of actions could I take? What could I do to better my situation, to better, what's available to me, right? And I think that's an important kind of framework. And I love the framework because it's so simple in so many ways. And so simplicity is key, I always think, with regards to interventions. And so that helps people create a little bit of space. And I think that space between feeling and acting, or thinking and acting, or feeling and thinking, if we can create some space between that, that's where clarity comes in. And that's such an important space for them to be.
Wonderful, wonderful, Marcel.